Welcome everyone to another episode of the Pearce Brothers. I'm Joe, and today we are going to be doing Average Joe's top 5 EDC fixed blade knives. So I've got quite a few knives laid out here with me. These are my tops, and I say Average Joe's because that's my Instagram. So go follow me on Instagram. I have a lot of cool EDC related stuff up on there. But fixed blade knives are kind of a different role for me, I guess, versus what other people might carry them for. But I carry a folder and a fixed blade every single day. And my fixed blade is strictly for defensive purposes. I don't pull it and use it to open packages or anything like that. It's strictly reserved just for self-defense. My folder is more of a utility knife, and I use that for package opening and to look cool. So I'll have a top 5 folder video coming out as well. I might do top 10 because I've got a lot of folders and it's kind of hard to fit them all in just 5. Same with fixed blades. It's kind of a hard choice. This is only a small selection here, but we're going to start off and I'll talk about each of the knives in the list and then why they are ranked where they're at. So with that being said, let's get rolling. So I've got 2 first we're going to cover that are honorable mentions because 5 is kind of a limited number. And I love my knives. So first of all, the first honorable mention is going to be the Disaster Crow Scout from Half Face Blades. It's a great knife. It's got kind of that American classic Bowie style blade shape. I carry this one a lot. It's got a great sheath. I carry most of my knives with this DCC monoblock style clip. And then I have a tier 1 concealed wedge on the back of most of them if I carry and use them. But this knife is great. It's got a really great texturing on the handle. It's got some jimping on the back, or whatever you want to call it, for a good thumb rest. The only reason it's not in the top 5 is it's not really specifically designed as a self-defense knife. So there's that. Great knife. Again, this is not going to be a cheap list. Most of my knives that are fixed blades are kind of a premium knife. Next honorable mention is going to be the Montana Knife Company Speed Goat. The reason it didn't make the list is because it does not have a very good handle. So it's got a paracord handle, but it's a great knife, great design knife. It's really more designed for hunting, but it would make a great defensive knife if you had to use it. It's extremely sharp, durable blade. This is specifically the 2.0, which has a better finger guard. If this were the 1.0, it would not be on this list because the 1.0 does not have a good enough guard to keep your hand in place. So there's that. But again, a good Kydex sheath. I've got the same style clip and wedge on the back. So those are the 2 honorable mentions. We'll kind of set them aside as we roll here. Now, coming in at number 5, the reason this one is ranked number 5 is because it's the cheapest knife on the list, but I wanted to have something on this list that was a under $100 knife you could get. So this one is from CobraTec. It is their Kingpin is what they call it. This one has a really great guard on the back and the front, so you can really get a great grip on it. Doesn't matter how you're going to hold that knife, it's going to be locked in your hand well. It's made of D2 steel, which is a pretty tough and durable steel. It's got a great blade shape to it. But again, you know, that's a great option for under $100 that you can get as a defensive knife. It has a Kydex sheath, which has really great retention on it. It locks in very well. I was originally going to swap the clip out for one of the regular DCC style clips that I've got. I'll throw the link to these clips down in the description. I get them from Amazon. They're from a small business there, but they're in stock, ready to get. DCC model clips are always out of stock. So these guys on Amazon, I found them. I'll throw their info down below. But you can get 4 clips for 12 bucks. So they're about $4 a piece. But the clip that actually came with this knife is actually a really decent clip. And I left it on there because, well, under 100 bucks, you don't have to buy anything extra. Voila, there you go. I paid $85 for this at my local gun store at T-Bone's Guns in Caldwell, Idaho. So there's number 5. Coming in at number 4, we have the Winkler operator. Now, Winkler knives, they make a lot of different variations of the operator. This one specifically is the Sig Sauer Legion edition. The reason I chose this one, well, first of all, I love my Sig Sauer Legion firearms, but this one has a better guard on it than most of the operators out there. So you have a better guard at the front and the rear, so you can use that in reverse grip and forward grip, and you're going to have a great grip on it. But Winkler makes amazing knives at really high quality, custom-made, handmade knives. So that is number 4. I love that knife. I use this one a lot. It's a little bit longer than I typically carry it for a blade. My EDC Fixed Blades usually are 3.5 to 4 inches. This one's a little bit over 4. But again, it's a very great knife, comfortable to carry. And ultimately, you know, that's something important you have to look at when you're picking your EDC knife. I typically carry those knives in the front because I want quick, easy access to them. Inside the waistband carry, so that's why I do these clips with the wedge. The wedge helps to push that grip or handle of the knife back against your body to reduce printing and make it more concealable. It also adds comfort because there's a nice little pad on the sheath at that point, so it's not digging into your body all day. But I didn't do that on this one because typically when I carry this one, the Winkler operator, it's on my left side because it is a little bit longer. And it's right at the tip of the hip. So you can carry a larger knife there. And again, up to you. You got to figure out what size knife you want to carry. So that's a little side note here. But I'm currently carrying this Crow Scout from Half Face Blades. So that's a 5-inch blade, and I carry it comfortably on that left side. So if you are going to carry a bigger knife, because bigger knives are always better. They're just, you can do everything with a big knife that you can do with a little knife, but you cannot do everything with a little knife that you can do with a big knife. So big knife, always go big if you can. So that's why I prefer that 4-inch blade. I can carry it in the front, appendix carry comfortably. I don't know left-hand side what you guys call that, if it's still appendix, because the appendix is technically on the right-hand side. But so there you have it. A little side note on size of knife to carry. Always go big. So if you can carry the biggest knife you can, that's great. As long as it's concealable and comfortable to carry. That's really the most important thing. So coming in at number 3, I have the Stroup Knives Bravo 5. Now this knife is from Stroup Knives. They're another custom knife maker. This one comes in cheaper. As far as the custom knives go, this thing is just over 200 bucks. And it's a very well-made, awesome little knife. It is not stainless, so it does have it's a high carbon steel they use, so you got to keep it oiled in that so it doesn't rust on you. But it's got great blade shape. It has great guards at the front and the back of the knife. The sheath, again, nice Kydex. Gives a good lock with no wiggle or anything. A same style clip I put on there with, again, the Tier 1 concealed pad. Now, number 2 and number 1, this was a hard decision for me because I love both of these knives and I carry them almost all the time. These others get mixed in here and there, but number 1 and number 2 are almost always carried. And I chose number 2 and 1. There's a couple of reasons why these came in where they ranked. So number 2, I have the Disaster Junior from Half Face Blades. Again, it has a good Kydex sheath. I left the factory clip on this one. And again, I got the Tier 1 concealed wedge. But this knife is a really awesome knife. It's tough, it's durable. This one is made of 3V steel. Now, this one has a little bit of serration on the blade. I do like some serrations on a defensive knife. You can have, well, more cutting power. There's a little more ragged cuts in that. But this knife is a tough, durable, heavy-duty knife. You know, it's a smaller knife. They do make a full-size version of this too, but that's a little bit big to carry. I'd carry that kind of like I carry the Crow left side if I were going to carry it, and I have carried that one quite a bit. But the Disaster Junior fits great in the appendix carry. It's quick, easy to draw, but this one specifically has rock work around the grip and the back, which gives it a much better grip than other knives that I've got here. And the shape of the blade on this, it looks tough. You know, it looks like something you want to take out and use. And again, 3V steel, extremely tough and durable. This one's razor sharp from the factory. And you can't go wrong with Half Face Blades. I love their knives. And this one specifically is such a great knife to use. And you feel like you can just use and abuse it. And it's going to be tough and durable and make it through anything you put it through. So the reason really that this one comes in 2 and not number 1 is because it is not double-edged. That's really the biggest reason. So with that being said, number 1, I'm actually wearing number 1 here. It is the Revere from Crush Everything or Dynamis Alliance, made by Winkler for them. This is number 1 for quite a few reasons. So let me dive into that why. So first of all, the sheath is amazing. It's reversible, so you can swap it either direction. So you can carry this sheath anywhere on your body and swap the knife whichever direction you want it to be for your grip on how you're going to draw. So it's customizable in that way without having to do anything. You don't have to sit there and unscrew the clip, flop it around. The clip itself as well is designed to clip straight onto clothing. So if you're wearing leggings, shorts, whatever it be, you can clip this straight on there and it's not coming off. I mean, that thing will come right out, but it has great retention, so that it's not going to fall out on you, but that clip will rip your clothes apart before that clip fails you. So again, the sheath, that's one reason why it's number 1. Has a great sheath design. Now the knife itself is double-edged. It does have some serrations along the back side. The grip is great. Now, as you can see, I have like average hands. They're not big, but I can grip that knife and there's still room. So if you have bigger hands, this would be a great choice for you. But again, it's got a 4-inch blade, 4-inch handle, so right where I want it to be for an EDC self-defense knife. It's got good texturing on the grip. These are G10 grips. And then it has, if you're going to use it in a forward grip, it has really good jimping along the back here for your thumb. It's got a good ramp there. You can really maneuver that really well. And if you're going to use it in reverse grip, it also has good jimping on the back side there. So you can set your thumb right on top and still have great control and great grip texturing. But that knife is strictly designed as a self-defense knife. You know, you're not going to use this as a hunting knife or a utility knife. I mean, being double-edged and the way it's designed, it is strictly made for self-defense. Carrying a knife, obviously, should not be your first choice for self-defense. If you're able to carry a gun, then do so. That's always my preference, but there might be times when you can't carry a gun, so a knife might be the next best choice, or a pepper spray of some kind. You know, whether it be a work policy or a place you're traveling to that doesn't allow a firearm. So having a good knife that you can carry and use and practice with is a great option. And that's another note with the Dynamis. It comes with a trainer blade, so you can have a training knife to train with it. That's another big plus of why it made number 1. You can practice and train and use that and not have to worry about cutting yourself. And the sheath is swappable, so you can have 2 different sheaths for the same knife. They both fit, the trainer and the real knife. It also comes with training. So there's a series of videos that are included when you purchase that to help you learn how to take care of your knife, how to use it, how to draw it, where to carry it, all that kind of stuff is covered in those videos. That's another big plus. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to get a knife for self-defense, but then they don't actually know how to use that knife for self-defense. So buying the Dynamis, it's going to have those training videos. There's more training courses on their website you can do to further those skills. So that's really what sets the Dynamis apart from the half-face blade, in my opinion, for number 1 versus number 2. But again, those are both great knives. And training, though, is key. You know, you can't just carry something and expect it to be the magical fix, you know, when you're in a bind and need to use that. You have to train and practice and do those reps so that you're ready and prepared when that time comes. But again, don't bring a knife to a gunfight. So that's rule number 10 of mine. Always don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Have that gun ready and if you can. So train, use your gun, be licensed, all that, so that you can legally carry. And then carry and practice with that gun, so that can be your primary purpose. Because if you're legally able to draw and use a knife, you are just as justified. That's considered lethal force. You're just as justified to draw and use your gun. So always draw your gun if you have to. And thank you for watching this episode of the Pearce Brothers. I hope this helped a little bit. I'll have that top 5 folder video coming out. It might be top 10 because, you know, I've got a lot and it's hard to fit them all in one. So watch for that in the next few weeks. But thank you for watching. Make sure to share, subscribe. We appreciate the support very much. And we'll see you next time on the Pearce Brothers.